Hi guys, hope you're well. I wanted to do a really quick video for you. This will be a very brief one, but a very important one. I'm going to tell you in this short video how you can maximize your results, how you can really get going fast and actually get money coming in. That's what all this stuff is about, okay? It's not about the perfect niche, the perfect theme, writing perfect content, perfect layout, any of that stuff, okay? We can go into that all day long until the cows come home, if you've heard that saying. You can go on and on and on, and there's so many different ways of doing things. What I want to talk about today is something that will absolutely get you the fastest results and get you making money. And that's why you're here. That's why you're watching my videos. You want to make money with Amazon affiliate sites. What I'm going to ask you to do is make a decision to do it. Okay? The biggest problem with all of this stuff isn't the learning curve or isn't even the work. It's the decision to do it. You see, I'm not saying you're doing this if you're watching this video, and this video is intended to help, but ever such a lot of people, what they do is what I call float. And what I mean by that is they float around trying to find the best way, trying to find the info that will move them forward, and never get anywhere. What happens is you just end up spinning your wheels, searching for the next thing that will make it easier. This is the thing. It's just a decision. You need to decide today to actually do this. I want to talk about a few things. So firstly is the decision to do it. You have to make a decision to do it. Secondly, you have to believe that it's going to work. Look, if you believe all this stuff is just a con, doesn't work, there's no way it works, I would suggest finding something else to do. And that's the beauty of this stuff, is that it costs you a domain name and hosting. And even in terms of a course and stuff like that, you can see all the free content on my channel, nearly 2,000 videos with content, the free 15-day challenge. You don't even need to buy anything to give a good go at this, okay? All we're doing with this whole process is ranking sites via SEO. That's all. So when I'm talking about SEO, I'm on about these sites, like this one, rank on the search engines, and you get the traffic through the search engines. So we're looking here at the actual traffic coming in. I've shown proof of this, I've shown sales. So you either looking at this and thinking, well, it's all a con, it's all made up. That's fantastic. If you believe that, that's cool. Find something else to do. Okay, or not, as the case may be. But if you do think like that, it's not going to work, is it? You're not going to put time into it, and that's absolutely fine. What I would say on the con thing is a bit like this. It's a bit like saying if you went into a sales office and you were going to go and make sales and you couldn't make any sales, does that mean that sales is a con? Of course not, okay? There's people making money, but the same things ring true. If you're in a sales office, you need to have the skills in order to make sales, okay? You need to be okay with sales. You need to understand that all we're doing here, although we're not picking up the phone and selling something or meeting people face to face, you have the same things. You've got a website, you've got content on it, and people are going to find this website through your search engine optimization. So these sites are optimized to rank, and then when they find them, like here, like the clicks that it's coming through, 51 clicks in the last 28 days, a percentage will buy. Now, the reason I've said all that is, firstly, you have to make a decision to do it. And you're probably saying, well, I've already made a decision to do this, but you really need to give time to it, okay? The only things holding you back if you firmly made a decision is the skills in order to do it and the actual work, and that's it, okay? That's the beauty of this stuff. There's only two things. You either cannot build a site like this, in which case I've released course after course, all of them which say mostly the same thing, explain the SEO. You can also check out other people's YouTube channels, you can read books off Amazon, you can find a whole host of information. My advice on the information is don't get bogged down with just learning. It won't make you any money. My suggestion, like I covered on Friday in the webinar, if you're in the webinar, my suggestion is just to get a site up and out there, get to the point that you can get to, and then learn the skills. Otherwise, nothing will happen. Lastly, I want to just touch on, you need a plan. You need to know why you're doing this. If you're watching my stuff and you're just looking at making a sale, you're not going to do it, okay? Or chances are you won't, because it's too much work involved just to make a sale. You need to have a plan. Look, you need to actually have a plan in order. It doesn't have to be a fancy plan all drawn out and a massive blueprint, but you have to have a notepad and pen in front of you right now and know, what are you aiming for? What are you going for? $1,000 a month, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000? All of them you can go for. We can go for together. But you need to have a plan. How many sites do you need? What do you need to learn? And actually build a plan so you're moving forward. Because this is the easiest time of the year with Amazon. And if you do those things, if you back that with a decision and do those things and focus on the results. So the next thing that holds people up is because there's so much information. Look, you can SEO a site in a whole host of different ways. Okay, there's no right or wrong way as long as you're not seen badly in the eyes of Google, you know, like black hat stuff and so on. There's no simple way of doing this that's the best way ever for 2019 to rank a site. There really isn't. I've worked with SEO for nearly 15 years and the actual concept behind it has stayed relatively the same, which is as long as you have information that helps people and as long as you have information that pertains to the things they're typing in, i.e. when someone types in this WEN 56200i portable power generator, it will receive a percentage of the traffic because there's a lot of information about this power generator. And then all the stuff linking it to helps it all rank, okay? So I just wanted to do a short video and keep it all in line. These are the only things that you need to worry about. If you're sat there, you're not making money, you need to decide whether you want to do it or not. The second point was it's all a con. I've got no problem with that point of view. My problem with it, or my confusion with it, is if people believe it's all a con, why are you still trying to do it? Look, if you believe it's all a con, I would suggest going to do something that you don't believe is a con, because it's all just a point of view anyway. Look, I can show sites all day long making money, ranking, making sales, getting rankings in the search engines. I've done it time and time again. But and again, we can go to Flipper and we can have a look at people selling sites. I'll tell you the honest reason, like in my opinion, out of what I've seen in the last 7 years, the reason that there aren't a lot of people making money online is because they don't get enough out there to be able to see a result. Just getting a push button site out there, or just sticking a site out there with a few pages without any tracking on, without being able to see your stats, without knowing what's happening, without having any goals, what will happen is you'll end up with just a sort of half-assed site out there and hoping to get that sale. And then once you prove it works to yourself, you're going to go full board on this stuff. But if you can't understand the ranking, the SEO, the stuff involved, nothing's going to happen, okay? So yes, that needs to be learnt, but you need to run a fine line between spending your time learning and just absorbing information from all these different sources, because you'll just end up information overload and you end up getting caught. So that sounds all like, oh my god, I'm all confused now and it sounds like a lot of stuff and I don't know what to do. I am doing a paint by numbers coaching. I've put it together. Here it is in a nutshell without a sales pitch. It's a coaching group. It's only going to have up to 10 people in it, and we're going to do this together. Look, if you have trouble with this stuff and you just want to do it together, and say when you get up to a point you're stuck, I'm going to go through the whole thing with you. Paint by numbers. I'm going to put the link below this video. The first class will start on Friday the 14th of September, or September the 14th. We do our dates back to front here in the UK, so it's Friday, September the 14th, 1 PM EST. And what it's going to be, the very first session, is going through and doing this with you. We're going to go through everything, all the way from getting a host, getting WordPress installed, putting the plugins on. You're going to get simple tasks every week, so nice and simple, nothing bogging you down, or literally, so you've got 4 weeks where you go through it, and at the end of the 4 weeks you'll be making sales. I'm actually guaranteeing it, okay? If you're not making sales by the end of the 4 weeks, I'll carry on coaching you personally until you are. The only stipulation is you need to do the stuff. Now, I'm not going to bog you down. I'm not going to give you, right, now this week you've got to write 200 articles, anything like that. I'm going to show you what to focus on, how to write them. I'm going to do it with you. There'll be, while we're doing the session together, you'll be able to ask questions and get the help that you need. And that's how you want to learn. because you'll be with me as we go through this, and you'll be able to see me build a site from scratch, not the power generator one. I'm going to build a site from scratch and get it making sales during the 4-week training. So the only thing holding you back on this stuff is just before you do a plan, before you start looking at niches, make a decision whether you want to do this stuff, okay? Because otherwise you'll just end up floating around. Year after year goes by, month after month, and I'm not knocking that. I'm saying that's perfectly normal. That is why people don't make money online. There's so many different ways of making money. There's so many different ways of ranking a site. There's so many different things that you could do. Look at your time and look at what you spent the last month doing, okay? There's no right or wrong. But if the last month wasn't spent putting any content on any site, doing any SEO, working to a plan, if you haven't got a plan there where you go, by the end of these 4 weeks I'm going to have 2 sites out there and I'm going to have 5 pages on each. I'm not saying that has to be the plan, I'm giving it as an illustration. Unless you've got a plan where you're going like that, where you're going forward and you're getting enough out there to cause a result, nothing will happen. And you'll just end up trying out a few things, falling into the sort of cesspit of internet marketing, push button sites, article spinners, traffic software. I'm not knocking that stuff, okay? I'm saying that to make money, there's no way that you can cut corners. But I'm also saying that to make money with Amazon affiliate sites via SEO, you don't need to cut corners. It can happen relatively quickly if you know what you're doing, if you've got a plan, and even if you don't know what you're doing, if you're dedicated to learning it and then implementing it by making that really strong decision. So all you have to do today is make a decision, whether you do it with me or whether you go at it alone. Make that decision and start, okay? Work out whether you want to give it a go. If you think it's all a con and stuff like that, there's no problem with that. I've never sort of shied away from it's all a con, you know, it's not going to work. Find something else if that's what you truly believe, because there's no way it's going to work for you, okay? If you can see that these sites make money, they rank, they make sales. I can only show sites making sales, what they've done for me, my site's ranking. I'll tell you one thing, with the site builder service, if it was all a con, I would not spend as much time as I do on that, writing content from scratch and setting it all up. What I would do if I wanted to, I'm not going to say con because that's a bit of a nasty word, but if I wanted something that gave me the least amount of work for the most money, I would develop an article spinner and a push button site builder, and I'd just sell that, okay? If I wasn't bothered about anyone's results, I'd just sell that and I'd just go, there's your push button site builder, you got a site up, you got what you paid for, there you go. Okay, and I know that that wouldn't work, but I wouldn't have to work through keyword research, I wouldn't have to write content out from scratch, I wouldn't have to teach this stuff, I wouldn't have to do SEO, I wouldn't have to do all the things that take the time. You have to take the time, okay? So I mean this video as a really, really good thing to get you rolling, to get you moving. Just decide whether you're going to do it. And if you're not, find something that works for you, okay? But whatever you do, focus on the results. That's where the money is, okay? Focus on getting enough out there. So look at the example I gave in the phone sales room. Let's say you're doing phone sales, okay? If you're just making 2 calls a day, you're going to think it's a con, aren't you? Because you're not going to get any results. If you're doing 200 a day and working really, really hard at it, just by the law of averages, you're going to hit a few people that are going to want what you've got, okay? So that's what it is in the start. It's the work, it's the consistency, and it's just working to get results. If you want to do it together, do check out the Paint by Numbers. I've got 10 spots for this, and that's it. Okay, I'm only taking a group of 10 people. We're going to go through it together. Watch the video for more information, but it's literally Paint by Numbers. We meet up every week. Everything that I'm telling you to do, I do as well. So you can see what I've done, and we can compare every week, and you'll be moving forward and you'll be making money. So I'd love to have you with me. Check out the video below. If you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description. If you're watching on Facebook, it's in the box. I'll put a link, and I'd love to have you with me. Here's to your success. Best time of the year. So really, really give it a go. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll speak to you really, really soon. Cheers, guys.